I got some beef with Tucker Carlson. Number one, I don't like the stupid fucking look on his face when he acts all concerned about what the other person is saying. But second of all, I don't like that he speaks in moral absolutes. I don't like that he conveys opinions as though they are facts. And I think it's time that I call him out on some of his bullshit. So here I go.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight.
Fuck you.
One thing we've learned about mass immigration over the past couple of years is that all good people support it.
That's absolutely correct. Please continue.
Immigration is the ultimate moral litmus test. When a caravan of poor migrants from the third world shows up uninvited on your doorstep, the decent among us step forward to welcome them in. That's commanded by the moral code of cable news, and more importantly, by the poem at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty.
It's not just commanded by cable news or the bottom of the Statue of Liberty. It's also commanded by the Old Testament, the New Testament, and almost exclusively every religion, maybe other than Satanism. Please continue, Tucker.
Only bigots and haters slam the door.
Yes, I would argue that only bigots and haters would slam the door. Please continue, Tucker.
That's what they've been telling us in the media now for years. CNN's Jim Acosta has made that point repeatedly. Well, it has finally happened. The caravan has arrived. But here's the funny part. It didn't arrive in our country. It arrived in Mexico, in the border city of Tijuana, just across the fence from San Diego. The people of Tijuana are Mexican citizens, so by definition, they are good people.
By definition, Mexican citizens are good people. I would tend to agree with that. Please continue.
Much better than you are. They're more welcoming and compassionate, less selfish and less American. They must be thrilled by the new arrivals. As immigrants, their new Honduran neighbors will grow their economy and add rich new diversity to their culture. That's what low-skilled immigrants always do.
Low-skilled immigrants. So number one, Mr. Carlson's assuming that this caravan of a few thousand people are all low-skilled. How do you know that, Tucker? Or are you just making shit up as you go along? That's number one. Number two, I'm not entirely convinced that Mexico has the infrastructure we have. I'm not entirely convinced that Mexico has the economy that we have.
Again, a point that Jim Acosta frequently makes. So are the people of Tijuana grateful for this caravan from Honduras? Fox's William Lajeunesse went there to find out firsthand.
So somebody from Fox went to Tijuana firsthand to find out from Mexicans how they feel about being invaded by Hondurans. Let's find out what happens here.
And here's what he discovered.
Should this caravan have been stopped at the Guatemala border?
Of course, I agree with that 100%. It should have.
Your country have to be beware of these people because they are people. They are bad people. Bad people.
They're bad people. One guy in Mexico says the Hondurans are bad people. Please continue, Tucker Carlson.
Because they don't belong here. They're just migrants, but it's like the same, in the same case, it's like when Mexican migrants going to the U.S., they're undocumented.
You know what's funny about that one right there? Our buddy Fucker Carlson just got done saying that they're in Tijuana interviewing people. Except, look really close at the license plate. Here, I'll zoom in for you. Okay, now I just did a little bit of research. I looked up, and I'll include this information on the side, I looked up Mexican license plates. And then I looked up California license plates. And guess what we find out? The license plate in this picture is in California, not Tijuana. So, right off the bat, you've picked 4 people. You've interviewed 4 people, one of which we can tell for sure is not in Tijuana. And the others maybe are and maybe are not in Tijuana. But collectively, these 4 or 5 people represent the opinions of Mexico. They somehow represent the opinions of Americans. They somehow represent some xenophobic worldview. I don't think so. I'm not convinced. By these 4 or 5 people, one of which seems to be in California, not Tijuana, that this is the invasion that Fucker Carlson, I should say, is talking about. And that's just me.